Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Veronica, aka the Book Witch, and today I'm gonna bring you a Never Have I Ever Spilled the Tea edition. So, how this work? If one, you need to stop the video, go make yourself a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, or whatever you wanna drink. You can take a bit of vodka as well if you like, depending on what time of the day you're watching this. And I'm gonna read some bookish questions and we're gonna take a sip of our drink. I'm gonna drink a cinnamon black tea if we're guilty of doing that, and we're not gonna drink if we're not. So without further ado, let's start. Never have I ever pretended to have finished a book without actually finishing it. I don't think I ever did that, even because I don't see the point. Like, why should I say that I have finished a book and then like being put on a difficult spot when I don't know how it actually ends? Like, it's no point for me, I'd like to be honest. So never have I ever had some prejudice against a book that is actually great. I'm guilty of this, so let's drink. Cheers. So yeah, the last one I did have prejudice on and I found it was really great and I enjoy a lot. It was Secret History of Witches. I went in thinking it would be just like, you know, some kind of Salem, you know, witches trial story, which it was not. It was so much more, and it basically followed different generation of witches in the same line. It was the Orchery witches, and I hope I pronounced it right. Yeah, basically, other than telling this line of witches history through the centuries, he also illustrate how the patriarchy in society developed through the centuries, getting up to the First World War. So that for me was a nice book to read, like at the end of October, because of course like there was the right mood for it, but it was so much more, and it got me thinking so much about patriarchy and, you know, feminism and the way society works and worked even just, you know, 100 years ago. So that was the last one I was guilty of having prejudice, and it was actually a great, really, really great book. Never have I ever read a full series I hated trying to figure out where the hype was coming from. I'll drink to this. And I just want to say, I've never read an actual series, like a whole series, just to see where the hype was coming from. I may have read one book, like the first one, and then I'll be like, don't see where these guys, what these guys are talking about, you know. I just DNF the series then. It doesn't happen to me a lot though. Like, I usually know what I like, and maybe I should expand my horizon a bit more, but I usually read what I know I like, and if I think I'm not gonna like it but there is a lot of hype about it, I'm not gonna read it. Anyway, never have I ever finished a book I didn't like just because I didn't want to have wasted time starting it. Yeah, I'm guilty of that. Cheers again. So yeah, I usually it's really hard for me to DNF a book. I think the only book I DNF'd a lot was a book I was reading when I was younger, and it was just because I was like 10 years old and it wasn't the right fit for a 10 years old girl. Like, it was an adult book. Yeah, if I start a book, I'm usually, even if it takes me a month to finish it, I'm usually gonna try and finish it, because I don't want to have wasted my time starting reading it and buying that book. It's just, and plus, you know, you could fall in love with the book. You never know. Like, sometimes I really hated a book at first, and then at the end I was like, you know what, that was actually a good book. So yeah, never have I ever wrote fan fiction. So no, never wrote fan fiction. I'm not a writer. Even if I read a lot, I'm not good at writing. It's one of the things I hate the most. So yeah, no fan fiction, no fan art. I'm not a very creative person in that kind of way. I am creative, but no drawing, no painting, no writing. Just no. Never have I ever thrown a book across the room. Now, how if you ever thrown a book across the room, how dare you? Like, I never do it. Book for me are sacred. I'm never gonna throw them at someone or across the room just because I'm upset. For sure, I'm not upset at the book. I'm not just no. It's like, for me, one of my pet peeves and get as well is like people that highlights book. Like, I'm not talking about textbook like from school. I'm talking about novels and fictional books. I mean, I feel like, yeah, highlight it's important when you're studying, and that's like what I do to study as well. But no, while I'm reading it, if I want to like save a quote or something, a sentence that I like, or I don't know, a passage, I'll take a picture of it, write it down on a notebook. I'm not gonna highlight, I'm not gonna make notes on the book. I'm not, yeah, that's just, for me, it's a big no. Never have I ever sacrificed a book from the shelter in the rain. No, to that as well. As I said, books are sacred to me. Actually, one time I was in Sardinia with my family for a holiday vacation, and there was a big storm, and we had to run from the beach to the little coffee shop that was there on the beach to provide refreshments and stuff to the people that were, having fun on the beach. And I actually covered myself with a beach towel, and take the book I was reading and put it underneath the towel. So I was drenched, I was soaked through, but the book was saved. And that was, for me, the most important thing. Like, saving the book in that moment was, for me, the most important thing I could have done. It didn't matter if I died, the book needed to be saved. Never have I ever hidden behind my book to hide from someone, or pretended to read to avoid them. Of course I have. It's like putting my headphones on when I'm on the tube, on the bus, just to try to avoid random people like starting a conversation with me. I'm not a very sociable person. So yeah, I do that a bunch. I think I haven't drank yet. I'll take another sip just in case. So, never have I ever went from hating a book to loving it because of a certain character chapter. I don't think so. I'm not too sure, but right now nothing pops up in my mind. So I think if I like a book, I love all the characters and the story. So for sure, not from hating it to loving it for just one character or one chapter. If I am neutral to the book, then yeah, I could have been hating it, and then the certain character or chapter comes up, and I'm like, okay, now this makes it more bearable, yeah, so I'm neutral about it. And then if I'm just hating it, I'm just hating it. And actually, what I think happened to me a lot was, like, I was really enjoying the book, then I got to the end was terrible in my opinion, and I was just like, this book, now I was loving it and now I'm hating it because of the ending. That's something that happened to me, but not like hate to love just because of one character or one chapter. Like, to love a book, I need to love all of the book. Never have I ever had a crush on a character in a book. So I think everybody's drinking with me now. Of course, we all had a crush on a book character. It's just something like, you sometimes as a reader, you get so invested in the book you're reading, that's for you that person is real and you're like, oh my god, I love this guy. If he was real, I would have dated him for sure. Yeah, I think my biggest book crush was on Jace Herondale from the Shadowhunter series. That I remember growing up and reading Shadowhunters. For me, it was like here. It was like the aim of the guy I wanted to marry. Never ever ever recommended a book I hated just so a friend would read it and I would have someone to rant with. No, I haven't. I am very lucky. Got a few bookish friends which I can ask them to read the book, to rant with me about it, but not pretending that like it's a good book or like, yeah. So no, I'm not guilty of this. Never ever ever spoiled a book for someone because they took too long to read it. No, I'm not a big fan of spoilers. I always double check like, which part did you get to again? So I can talk freely about what I wanted to talk about, or just keep it inside a bit longer until they get to the point I want them to get. Never ever ever liked a movie adaptation more than a book. Nope. No, I don't think so. I usually like the books a lot. Doesn't matter which order I watch. Like I can watch the movie first, read the book. I can read the book first and watch the movie then. It will still probably be the same. I would like the book better, and that's always been the case so far. Never ever ever use my book as a coaster. Again, books are sacred. Nothing goes on them. It happened that I like randomly and not voluntarily spill something on them, but I felt so guilty after. That's it. No book as a coaster for me. Never ever ever pretended not to like a book that I really did like a lot, aka a guilty pleasure. No, I'm a honest girl. If I like a book, even if it's like not a popular opinion, I'm gonna say it. I just like this book a lot. These are my reasons. That's it. I don't care. Like if it's a guilty pleasure, it's my guilty pleasure. People might as well know it. Never ever ever wanted to slap a character. I wanted to slap a character, I have wanted to stab a character, I have wanted to murder a character, and yeah, I think if you guys follow me on Instagram, you're gonna remember when I was reading Crescent City from Sarah J Maas, that I was devastated. Like I was doing sorry, like, oh, I'm gonna kill this character, oh, I'm gonna do this to this character, oh, I'm gonna, because it was just so infuriating sometimes. That the two main characters who have like they have an attraction to each other, they could never like be together because something was always happening when they were just about to be together. It was like somebody was walking in, some kind of crisis would happen, and they would be called and be like, oh, you need to come, la 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 la. So yeah, that's for me, it's like I can drink another sip because I've did it so many times. And well, that's the end of the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, you can hit the notification bell, you can follow me on Instagram and Goodreads, and whatever you want to do, everything is in the description box below. Just give me all the love, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye!